This is a Chinese machine for high-speed construction. The machine lifts a concrete beam weighing 1,000 tons, stretches from one bridge support for 40 meters, and installs it by itself. In China, they build bridges so fast that for the first time on the planet, trains will run at a speed of 350 kilometers per hour. They also learned how to build skyscrapers in 19 days, hospitals in 10 days, and residential buildings in 1 day. In fact, China's rise story has become a success story of the 21st century, except that there is another side to this story. The reality is that the greatest economic miracle in the world has come at a high cost, and this cost is already beginning to have an impact on both people and the state itself. The first thing that made the Chinese miracle possible was urbanization, which became the largest migration in human history. Since the country was poor and most of the population lived in rural areas, they worked in the fields. However, now the priority is in the development of industry and services, but this required people, a lot of people. So, a giant construction project started in the period from 1980 to 2020. Hundreds of millions of people moved from villages to cities, which meant a large influx of cheap labor. This led to the creation of a system for controlling internal migration and its impact. It divided inhabitants into urban and rural areas. Even if someone moves from a village to a city for work, they will still be considered rural residents and won't receive a city permit. They won't be able to obtain a residence permit, and without a local residence in a city where they work, they won't have access to basic public services like healthcare and schools for their children. But there is also a way to help them obtain a resident permit: owning real estate. For a normal life, having property in the city is necessary. This creates a huge demand that stimulates economic growth. Recently, real estate prices have risen higher and higher. However, average wages and incomes for citizens have not grown as fast, making it difficult for ordinary people to buy their own houses. This has created immense pressure on people who struggle to succeed and find a better job, and finally lead a normal life with access to basic services. This problem has affected everyone born in the city because they have to compete with a never-ending stream of people who raise the bar on how hard they need to work. The impetus behind this was the well-known Chinese work culture of 996. This culture operates from 090 to 090 on 6 days a week and originated when the economy started to open up in the 1980s, when the government promoted overtime work as a means for the country to progress. Over time, this cultural practice has been adopted by Chinese companies. Since fewer people work, the company saves more money on wages. And although it is technically illegal, it is unclear how well these rules are actually followed. But considering that 3/4 of all workers in Beijing suffer from overwork-related health problems, this culture shows that it is not going anywhere anytime soon.